Hey, what's up, Culture Drop? Galen here. This video is about 5 tools and mindsets, things that you need to understand about change in order for you to have success with it and not have it be torturous. Change is all around us. It's constant, it's ever, all the things. In order to navigate change and have it not be terrible for you, these are things I think are critical for teams, organizations, your individual relationship with change, etc. I've got a lot to say, so let's go. Number 1 is to come face to face with the reality and pull it into your little heart that change is constant. It is ever present. It will always be. It is continuous. It is continual. Change will always be present in your life, whether you hate it, whether you love it, it doesn't matter. Your relationship with change is irrelevant to the fact that it is constant for you. And you having a better relationship and a better attitude and mindset around change will make it better for you. Because whether you are picking up your feet and marching forward with joy, or you are being dragged reluctantly through the mud, you will experience change. And what it feels like is up to you. Your attitude, your mindset, literally 100% determines what that feels like to you. And you know this, you look around at people in your life, or maybe this resonates with you, where every little tiny change for these people is like a blow. It's a huge, oh no, and this, and that, oh, all these things. And other people that move through the world where it's like this change, and they're like, okay, this, let's go. You have to be an okay, let's go person. Otherwise, you're gonna hate it here. Number 2, change is the path to progress. Nothing improves, nothing evolves, nothing gets better if we do not in some way change it, evolve it. We have to move forward. If we stay here and we stay stagnant and we don't change, we let everything be the way it is, which is cool for now, eventually we will die on the vine, we will rot. We have to move forward and change. It is the laws of nature. Things change. Number 3, a resilient spirit, grit. Your relationship personally with change has to be positive and productive. You have to have a good, healthy relationship with change. Embrace the risk of failure, knowing that it is not going to cause you to die unless you're skydiving. We have to increase our tolerance for mistakes, setbacks, failures, and missteps. They are part of the process. They're healthy, they're normal. It is part of just any change and moving forward in the world is those things are going to be part of that. We can always pivot, we can always rebuild, we can always grow again, we can always bounce back no matter what we face. We have to have that spirit inside of us. We have to trust that we will find growth in the mistakes and failures and setbacks that we have as we move through the world and continue to change. You can guarantee, you're a human being, you've been here, it's not your first day here. You know, if you set out to do anything in the world, part of the process is that you're going to face unexpected circumstances, bumps in the road, mistakes, failures. All of that is going to be part of your journey. And the greater that the thing you're trying to do, the more of an absolute guarantee it is that you're going to face those things. Those are neighborhoods you're going to have to drive through to get anywhere that you want to go. And you have to have an attitude of loving that. That's where the beauty happens a lot of times, is unexpected things, failures, setbacks that take you in a wholly different path that is way better. A helpful part of that is the trust in yourself to know that when you face obstacles, when you have things go bad, you can overcome them, that things will be okay for you. And I want you to, here's an exercise, is to think back in your life at the times when you were going through great change and you thought you were losing everything and everything was the worst. An end of a relationship, the end of a job. And now with perspective, you can look back and be actually, I'm in a way better place. That happened. And these were the benefits of that. In almost every experience in your life, you can look back now in retrospect and be I actually learned all these things. I'm way better off for these things now. But at the moment, I thought I was dying. I thought it was the worst thing in the world. I could never recover from that. What we have to do is adopt a mindset that while we're going through change, even though in the moment we feel we can't see it, everything feels bad, to understand that 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, we're going to look back and be everything turned out great. And adopt that in the moment when we're going through change, to have that sort of proactive mentality to be I know that things from this are going to be great. I can't see them yet, but I trust that. Number 4, embrace that change is fluid. Change is not permanent. It is impermanent, and we can be adaptable and change. If we change direction and we start going somewhere, we understand that if this isn't the path we're supposed to be on, or we discover that this isn't better, we can pivot again. We're not just making one change and then making a path and be now we're stuck doing this. We have to understand the fluidity of change, the fact that we can pivot again. That's part of it. To be agile, to be adaptable, to be able to move and course correct along the way is part of change. And we just have to also embrace that, is that this won't be permanent. To quote the wise Michelle Otley that I heard say this, is that when it comes to change, I write in pencil because I need to be able to erase. Perfect. Number 5, the last one, is that it has to make sense. We have to be strategic, and we just can't run into change for the sake of change because we think change is good. We have to ask the right questions. Here's a list of questions that are important for you to ask and think about as you move through this. What is the why and the reason behind this change? Who is this change for? What will the outcome be? What are the results that we're looking for in this change? Also, what are the risks of this change? Who owns this change? What are they going to be responsible for to make this successful? What do we need to make this change happen in terms of time, resources, etc., to support this change? Critically important. How and what and why and when do we communicate this change? To who? How are we communicating it? What are we saying about it? Like, this is so important. So much change fails because it's communicated poorly. And lastly, do we have all the right people in the room helping us give us input before we even decide? People whose perspective is going to matter, people who this change is going to impact. Are they giving us input? Are they helping us see around corners, the things that we can't anticipate? Are they giving input at the right times along the way so that we can anticipate challenges and problems, get their input and buy-in early on instead of just handing change to people? All right, I know that's a lot, and this is going to be a longer video than 5 minutes, so I will wrap it up. Those things are important. Change is constant. Embrace it and love it or hate it, but it's here. Thanks for watching and tuning in. Subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of content on here. You can also subscribe to the Culture Drop mailing list and get these emails in your inbox every Tuesday morning. Follow our social media channels. Put a lot of free content out about just being more awesome and building great teams.